Computer functions. So far we have discussed that a function is a series of actions that are performed to perform one bigger action. For example, getting ready for school is the function, and the steps are take a shower, brush your teeth, put your clothes on. We have also learned that functions take in items or variables and return new items or variables. For example, when you get ready in the morning, you go from having your hair uncombed and being kind of tired to being awake and alert and ready to get out the door and go to school. So now that we know what functions are and what they do, the real question is, how exactly does a computer use functions in order to do what it does? We will use the example of creating our own game of Battleship to understand how a computer would use functions to create this game. First, let's define what the functions and variables are that are used in your common game of Battleship. To keep things simple for this example, we will include two functions that we are going to use to play this game. First, we are going to decide whose turn it is. Second, we will use a function called makeGuess, where we will make a guess where the other player is hiding their ships. Now, as we learned in last chapter, there are two types of variables. Input variables, these are the ones that are going to be put into a function, and the output variables, the ones that the function is going to produce. For our input variables, we might want to know things such as who took the last turn, what letter position we are going to guess that their ship is in, and also what number position we believe that they are hiding their ship. For output variables, we might want to know things such as whose turn is next, whether our guess was correct or not, or if we missed or hit their ship. Or we might also receive a response of our guess wasn't valid. For example, if I guessed Q74, that's obviously not a spot on the board. Or we also want to know if we've got the final guess to sink a particular ship. Now, let's look at what set of functions and in what orders and what inputs and outputs we will use in order to create this game. The first part of the game of Battleship is deciding whose turn it is. Am I going to have a turn right now, or my opponent? In order to decide whose turn it is, I will have to have an input variable of who had the last turn. Once the game decides whose turn it is, it will return that answer to us in the form of whose turn is it currently. Now, we are going to use one of those if statements that we learned in the first unit, and we're going to take that output variable of current turn, and we're going to ask, is it my turn? If it is indeed my turn, then the computer is going to allow me to make a guess. The two parts or input variables that I will give for my guess is what letter I guess and what number I guess, and then the computer will make that guess for me according to the guess that I made. I will then be returned or receive an output variable of what the results of my attack were. We might receive any of the results that we talked about earlier, such as I hit the target, I missed the target, that my guess was not valid, and possibly I might have sunken one of their ships. This is how you interact with a computer every single day. You ask things of the computer or give it input variables. This can be anything from searching for something on the web, deciding whether or not you like a picture on Facebook, or ordering a pizza. The computer then performs a function or various or several functions and then gives you back a response or output variables where it says, this is what I found for you.